Headless bodies began appearing in vacant lots, ravines, and abandoned areas, as if someone were deliberately distributing human remains across the city of Cleveland, Ohio, United States. The police were not finding complete corpses, but mutilated torsos, separated limbs, and victims so severely damaged that many could never be identified. In several cases, the head was never recovered. And the most disturbing detail was the precision of some of the cuts, which led investigators to suspect that the killer may have had familiarity with anatomy, blades, or some form of technical practice. The sequence of crimes began to take shape in 1934 and was concentrated mainly in Kingsbury Run, a poor and decaying area of Cleveland filled with railroad tracks, makeshift shelters, and people living on the margins. This environment helped explain one of the darkest aspects of the case. Many of the victims were vulnerable, moved without formal records, and could disappear without triggering immediate concern. Over the following years, at least 12 victims were linked to the murders. Some were men, others women, and several were recorded only as John Doe or Jane Doe, as the mutilation and the absence of the head made identification extremely difficult. It was this pattern that became one of the key elements of the investigation. It was not just extreme violence, but repetition. There was recurring decapitation, dismemberment across multiple victims, and signs that some bodies may have been cleaned or even treated before being discarded. This suggested method. The killer appeared to be concerned not only with killing, but with making identification as difficult as possible and turning each discovery into an incomplete scene. The absence of the heads, in particular, reinforced the idea of a deliberate attempt to erase identity, delay the investigation, and prevent quick connections between the cases. As more remains were discovered, the press began to treat the case as one of the city's greatest horrors, and public pressure escalated to the point of involving Eliot Ness, then Cleveland's director of public safety. His involvement added weight to the investigation, but also exposed its limitations. There were searches, surveillance, interrogations, and suspects, yet no definitive proof. One of the most well-known historical suspects was Francis E. Sweeney, a doctor with anatomical knowledge who drew attention because the pattern of mutilation suggested technical skill in handling the human body. In addition, Sweeney was described as psychologically unstable and came under scrutiny within Ness's inner circle, where he was seen as a possible fit for the killer's profile. Over time, behind-the-scenes accounts reinforced this suspicion, including claims that he performed poorly in informal lie detection tests. Even so, none of this developed into concrete evidence capable of confirming him as the perpetrator, and the case remained officially unsolved. In the end, what remained was a trail of dismembered victims, many without names, an investigation under intense pressure, and a killer who was never formally identified. And perhaps that is what makes the Cleveland torso murders so disturbing even today. It was not just a series of brutal killings, but a case in which the killer seemed to understand exactly how to destroy a body, confuse investigators, and disappear without answers, leaving behind missing heads, erased identities, and a real mystery that was never closed.